Hello Taurus gang, welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. This will be a general message for the Taurus gang, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Of course, everyone is welcome into this reading. I just ask you come in with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, please feel free to push them aside, maybe assume they're going out to someone else, but do be open to the fact that they may resonate for you at a later date, so you may choose to revisit these readings too. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice or guidance. Let's get one more good shuffle in and we will read the tarot. All right, for Taurus. Let's do it. This is popping out. Got poppers. You have so many cards coming out. It's like too many. All right, so let's look at this. Make sure you can see them all here. Close enough. All right, bottom of your deck is the Four of Swords. All right, are you sleeping peacefully at night? I don't know. With that card, where do you need to take better care of your mental health or just self-care in general? Some of you need to watch like your caffeine or your sugar intake, especially before bed. I don't typically do dietary nutritional messages because that's really not my territory. I am not a doctor. But anyway, that just seemed like a fairly innocent message to share. So let's see. I'm going to read this as past, present, future, or what are you building towards essentially? Where are you coming from? What you need to release and what you need to embrace. Money isn't everything. With the Ace of Pentacles, usually the Ace of Pentacles is a fantastic card. And I mean, it still is. But because it's coming up in the what you need to release, move away from the idea that money is the only way to get ahead in life, or, you know, put your money where your mouth is, which, I mean, I guess that expression is more about, you know, actions versus, you know, just talking about something. But yeah, I see this as, for some of you, it's more specific. It's moving away from some sort of collaboration where there's been a lot of sticky negotiations about money. It's like you can never quite settle or get on the same page. But I think it's like for some of you, it's like you're willing to trying to come up with a good word for it. It's not really settle, which that just doesn't seem like a Taurus word to me anyway. You're willing to sort of take a risk because it's close to like the dollar amount you wanted. To me, I'm just getting a giant red flag of, yeah, but you didn't see the part of the contract where they inserted some piece of, information or dialogue that actually is not going to benefit you over time. Right now, and this is obviously not meant to incite fear. I don't do fear-based readings. I just have to read from my gut. I do feel like there's a large investment or sum of money on the line, and there's been negotiations back and forth. But I don't know, especially with the Five of Swords kind of crowning this of what could potentially be in the near future. I think there's disappointment that someone wasn't more transparent or honest with the truth. This could be a coworker that you're bringing on board, or a staff, a member, especially someone who may actually work in your house or very closely with your family. Yeah, I don't know. There's something tricky or slick about money negotiations right now. And it may have to do with the fact that Uranus is sitting in Taurus, right? So that sort of unexpected crumble or shock or really awakens and shakes things up. But I don't know if it necessarily will go in your favor. However, just to sort of, soothe your worry, because ultimately I'm trying to help you, not give you more problems. What you do have coming up in terms of what you need to embrace or what you need to lean into more, take, utilize good. I'm using terrible words. You can tell Mercury's in retrograde. What you need to take advantage of, here's something that you have available to you that is a good thing, a good opportunity, is the Queen of Cups. In fact, this might even be the King of Cups in this deck. I think they're all feminine. You have the intuition on your side, trusting your gut instincts, that sense that something just doesn't feel right. I would lean into that more, trusting your gut instincts. I actually kind of read this in reverse of how I usually do, but those messages seem very obvious to me. Moving away from tangible earthly into something more spiritual, more felt, the feelings, the creative, the something that's inside you that, it's not tangible. It's a little bit more mystical. It's a little bit more, otherworldly. It could represent a strong water sign in your life who's going to offer you sound advice or guidance, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It could potentially be something with a mother or a father figure. It doesn't have to be, but and this could just quite literally be, what's showing up as a guardian angel at your side. Like you do have protection here. You do have a certain amount of, connection to the divine if you open yourself up to receive those messages, right? To be a channel, to purposely, or strategically, I should say, put yourself in spaces where it's quiet, where there's sort of a more relaxed energy with maybe some light music in the background or a candle going, so that you can open up that channel and kind of show spirit that you're willing and ready to receive advice or guidance if and where they see fit, right? Maybe buy a tarot deck. If you're into tarot and you don't have one yet, you're hearing it from me first. It's not that hard to learn. It really is an intuitive art. You pick it up over time. And so most tarot decks come with a guidebook anyway. So I don't know, that might be something some of you guys want to look into just for pleasure. And who knows, maybe it'll become something more than pleasure in the future. But so where are you coming from? Yeah, rocky seas or rocky shores, however you want to say that. Trouble in paradise, or a battle where it's like you think you're through the thick of it, right? Six of Swords any six is typically a card of victory, but it's like we're still going through the storm here. What's interesting to me, though, it's like usually by the Six of Swords, we're like, okay, we have some peace of mind. We can move on from our trouble or our dilemmas. Like we've learned something in the process, and now we can move forward confidently. And yet, what you have in your future is that Five of Swords. So it's almost like there's a having to go back and rewrite or redraw out the contract, which again, very, very indicative of sort of like Mercury retrograde type energy. Yeah, I would be very careful to sign anything or get anything in ink or anything that's binding, especially to do with money. I don't know why that's coming through so strongly, but like it's all over this reading. So then right in the middle, you have Ten of Cups, which is a lovely, lovely card. Card of marriages, of family, of legacy, of joy, of pleasure, of living in the moment, expressing gratitude for all the wonderful things you have in your life, even if it's not perfect, right? Because honestly, guys, nobody's life is perfect, right? I know social media would lead you to think differently, but it is simply not true. I don't have to tell you that. But yeah, Ten of Cups really is about appreciating your environment, what and who is around you. And then you have a Knight of Pentacles. So honestly, I mean, these two cards combined could be some sort of major marriage proposal or an engagement or, whatever, moving in together, something like that. That's sort of, I do really, really like these cards. It's what's around them gives me a little bit of pause. So I kind of have to see a few different storylines with this. Others of you, if you are already coupled up or partnered up, career-wise, and you guys are looking to go in on an investment, even with like an exterior, entity, a different person, a different company, corporation, whatever, that's, I think, where it starts to get sticky. And again, this isn't about fear or paranoia, but right now there's a need to be very careful who you're trusting, especially with your money. Because I'm wondering this, like, we're weathering the storm. Is that together? Is that you and your partner have had some tricky circumstances arrive in your life, and this has been sort of like your rock to help you through? If that's the case, I think this... Yeah, if the trouble or the obstacles have been external to your intimate partnerships, this to me is saying maybe hold off on signing documents or asking for a loan or signing for the new house or whatever it is. If the trouble in paradise has been you and your partner, like there's been a lot of arguments and disagreements or wandering eyes, it could also be sort of this, let's renew our vows. I'm sorry I slipped up and I love you. But then lo and behold, they do it again. So that's why I think it's saying be careful who you trust. Because I could also see this, if this is representing your, someone who you are romantically involved with. And I want to be clear. it has not been all what is it, sunshine and roses. There's been, in the relationship I'm talking about now, which will not be all of you, there's been some slip ups. There's been some confusion, maybe people saying things and doing differently, that kind of thing. Marriage is not going to fix that, because ultimately it might be that what this person wants and desires is not in alignment with you. And it's not to say they won't change in the future, but I need to be clear, Taurus, you're probably not going to be the catalyst for that change. You can love and support them. Maybe it's an addiction issue, but to be honest, I don't get that for most of you. For a lot of you, I could see this being, we're having problems in our relationship, whether it's marriage or not. But then there's like this, but you know what, I love you and you're my person and I don't want to lose you and I'm so sorry. And, let's go back to when, it was fun and easy and, the honeymoon stage, trying to recapture that. But the thing is, this person is still looking external to this one-to-one relationship or this like monogamous relationship. It's like they're extending their hand or offering to other people. So if this is under the guise of exclusivity, I have questions there. However, don't let that trip you up in terms of being like, oh my gosh, well, I thought my partner was faithful, I hope they are. Then yeah, I'm sure they are. That's where this card comes in. It's like, trust your intuition. But if something has been nagging at you and you do feel like someone is, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be cheating in the sense of like sexual escapades, but like going to other sources before you when you're clearly the one that this matter should be discussed with first. I don't know, there's something about this energy coming through this week that is a little bit sneaky or just unsettled, agitated, unable to sit still, unfocused. And yeah, it seems to be putting strain on your relationship with them. Again, this could be a business partner. And I'm not saying this energy is going to last forever. Mercury's in retrograde, right, as we've said. So not a great time to start anything brand new. Good time to go back and redo, rethink, reassess, reallocate, fix things from the past and improve them, make them better. Refine them. That's a really good word for Virgo, which is like this fixed energy here that's showing up. But yeah, with that, if you're starting some new collaboration and you're looking to like sign the contract, this person may have the idea of like wandering eyes because they may be thinking about leaving the business anyway. To the point where you may go out on a limb really trusting them and, going in with whatever it is, a handshake or a contract, and then come to find out it's not at all what they said they were going to do. So tricky energy. It's very tricky energy this week for you. Which is too bad because I love this card and I love this card too. I think you are through the worst of it if you appreciate and understand the lessons that you learned from the past, specifically attached to this situation or this person. So if it's a new opportunity and a new person, you're probably going, well, I don't know. I don't know anything about them because it's new. Well, something about that is going to mirror a recent trial or tribulation that you went through. So maybe it was leaving an ex or leaving a job, and there's a new opportunity that presents itself. Be really critical in analyzing if this new opportunity is actually sort of a repetitive cycle or repeating a pattern of something you're trying to get away from. I think that's really, really important, Taurus. I kind of keep wanting to call you Virgo because of this card, so this may very well include a Virgo, maybe an Aquarius. I get the sense, Taurus, that like you're in it for the long haul and you're in it for the team, the group dynamic. I think you're dealing with someone who's a little bit more selfish. Like they need to make sure their needs are met first, even if it means sort of blowing smoke up your you-know-what to be like, yeah, sure, let's do this because it's like I got to get my chunk of the money. I don't know. Their priorities are messed up and there is a little bit of backstabbing or like, it's not self-sabotage, it's projected. It's like, I'm going to do this thing and not really care about how it affects other people or the repercussions it has on my coworker or my marriage partner, maybe. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, the other way I could read this, can I get one more on this Five of Swords? The Four of Wands. This is such an interesting message. I do see a marriage having some stress in it right now. again, there is something about don't get too wrapped up in maybe more materialistic type things. It really is about soul connection at this point. And if, I'm not by any means saying don't get married, right? There's just something right now in the energy that there could potentially be a little bit of a snafu ahead. And so, forewarned is forearmed, but it might have to do with marriage. My Four of Wands is another card indicating big milestones in a relationship. It could be moving in together. And I could absolutely see, this almost has like a Bon Jovi Living on a Prayer vibe. Like it's Gina and Tommy, and she's working at the diner and he's doing his best, and like, we're going to make it. What is that line? It's like, it doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's enough for love. It so feels like that. Some of you are like really in it to win it with this person, but you've been through some heavy storms, some heavy bullshit. And it might not even be, again, directly with your person, but then it's like, yeah, we finally made it. Gina and Tommy are happy. There's proposals, there's babies, there's moving in together or something. But then something goes kind of funky and haywire. I don't like the Five of Swords. It's someone who's having second thoughts and trying to sneak out but not address the actual issue, because in a sense it's actually a rather cowardly card. Again, someone who's, it's like, it's not in my best interest to do this, so we're going to do it this way without consulting the tribe, if you will. And again, this might not be your person, but for some of you it is. It has actually some very strong feminine energy too. I will say that, just putting it out there. There seems to be some deception on the female's part. My gut reaction is, if you don't have to sign the contract or make this official immediately, give it another month. I think you would be happy that you do. It could be that all that money you're putting towards your wedding actually has to go to crazy expensive house repairs that you weren't anticipating. So don't spend money like it's growing on trees, which I know technically paper does, right? But I don't know. It's something about, we got to tuck this away, and the money doesn't need to be shown. The money should not be out in the open right now. We shouldn't be discussing it. It shouldn't be, floating around town. It should be like in the savings, tucked away, being monitored. Because ultimately this relationship right now, it's not so much about joining the finances or joint this or joint that. It really is about, hey, do you like this person? Do you love this person? Do you want to hang out with them? Then that should be enough. And again, I don't mean forever. I just mean right now. There could be a very sticky situation by jumping into something too soon that you may come to regret. So again, don't look at this through the lens of fear. That's not what it's about. Trust your guardian angels, trust your guides, ask for messages, ask for help when you need them, but you already know the answers. The answers are within you. So if this is sort of triggering that thing that you've been fearful of for, months, and it's being reiterated here in this reading, then it's probably your reading. If this is foreign to you, if you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, it's probably not your reading this week. But I will say it seems important enough where I understand why the universe would want me to sort of relay it, because it's avoidable. We have to remember that. This is probably the card I'm digging the least, right? Five of Swords, there's not a lot of redeeming qualities about this card. I guess in a very light interpretation could be someone having second thoughts or, changing their mind. But again, there's other cards that would show me that in a nicer way. I just feel like something is hidden. Something is masked. Something is not who they say they are or who they appear to be. But this is avoidable. If you don't fall into this sort of rose-tinted glasses, everything is great and it's all going to work out from here because, we can do anything now that we've been through these battles. Don't get me wrong, it's made you stronger. It's absolutely, an added tool to your tool belt. But there's something else up the road that could throw you for a loop. So just be cognizant with money. And appreciate the emotional support and connections that you have in your life, because you may actually need to depend on them more in the future if something kind of bizarre does come up. Make sure you show gratitude and appreciate your friends, your family, your spouse, your kids, whoever they are. Because the emotional ties, the emotional bonds, the families are going to be a big support system that you're being asked to sort of lean into in the coming weeks. All right, Taurus. Boy, this was a bizarre one. Is there anyone out there watching? Any Tauruses in the house? I think Taurus is like far and away my least watched sign, which makes me kind of sad. I feel like I just don't connect with my Taurus gang, but love those Tauruses. Hopefully there's someone out there watching. All right, here we go. What animal card can I give to Taurus this week? Taurus. For Taurus. One card, please, for Taurus. We'll do this one. The bee. All right, so we're going to read from the Animal Spirit Guidebook, Kim Kranz. There, oh my gosh, I almost opened right to it. Damn near close. All right, so the bee is earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Ooh, that's a good word for the Queen of Cups, subtleties. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have a bustling, joyous personality until they're tired from all the work, and then they gripe, and then they sting. When this card shows up in balance, it means content, active, and vibrant. Again, the appreciation for the family, I think that ties in, appreciating what you have. Anyway, and then when out of balance, overworked, and annoyed, to bring this into balance, take a mini vacation. So that's your advice from the Spirit Guidebook this week. Thanks for joining me today, Taurus. I hope this was helpful. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, all those good things. Book a personal reading if you want to support my business in a more personal way. That would be appreciated. Otherwise, I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.